I'm not playing a pirated copy.
We paid for this!
Oh, okay. It's a boss. Alright, let's finish things up here. Last segment we played every single Virtual Boy game released in the States. That's 14. 8 were released in Japan exclusively, so we're going to play those now. Now the first 4 of these games, not anything special. Well, at least not in terms of rarity. The last 4 games are among the rarest games released for any system.
Nice.
And we're going to see if stuff like Virtual Lab is worth the $2,000 it currently goes for.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
You don't know that. Let's find out. Let's find out firsthand.
Okay, let's do it.
So in Japan, they somehow got a region-exclusive Tetris game, much like we did. This one's called V-Tetris. This is definitely the first time I'm doing this.
I didn't fuck up.
Look at those stars.
I bet that looks really cool in 3D.
I'm Clown Man. Nobody say nothing. That segment went perfectly. Alright, let's start up this game.
Pals. We never fuck up.
Exactly. I like the 70s font they're using here.
I do too! Yes! Good!
Are we playing Tetris or watching an episode of Laugh-In?
Sock it to me, baby.
None of these are the famous Tetris music. Let's go with this one.
I'm into the graphic style here.
Actually, yeah. And if you thought 3D Tetris got too far away from the Tetris formula, you'll be happy to see this is just plain-ass Tetris.
Oh man, that is just Tetris.
Yep. In fact, I don't really... Well, I guess the star field would be the 3D effect, huh? Oh, this is also one of the few Tetris games that drops pieces gradually. Normally they drop block by block, like they line up with the tiles. Very few games do this kind of technique. The other one I can think of is Tetris Battle Gaiden for Super Famicom. It's not to say this is super advanced, you don't have instant drop. You probably can't even T-spin.
Danny.
I can't T-spin either, it's really hard. Let's get a Tetris.
It seems like good Tetris.
Yeah. There is nothing wrong with this Tetris. It's fine. Alright, here we go. This is how we judge the game. What kind of Tetris effect is there?
I'm assuming flashing.
V!
Alright, that's cool.
I've seen better.
Danny, very judgmental.
Well, look. Every night for the last week, since I got it for Christmas, I've been playing Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh, what do you think of it?
It is wonderful. It's got basically all the mechanical additions that I care about from Tetris the Grandmaster, and it just plays really well. In other words, it's got instant drop and hold. That's all I care about. That's how you make a good Tetris game. On the other hand, it's just Tetris. You could play this on literally any other console. I guess you can have 3D elements flying at you. If you really wanted that.
Damn, Danny, good at Tetris.
But on the other hand, yeah, it's just Tetris. I keep forgetting to look at this from the perspective of what it would look like on the Virtual Boy, though, and it would be all red. That clown you saw on the title screen, who looked nice and friendly here, would be blood red in color. He would want your blood.
I was gonna say, he'd be very creepy pasta.
Mm-hmm. But you take the good with the bad with the Virtual Boy, and it's mostly bad. Bad like the situation I put myself in right now.
I was gonna say, Danny.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
No!
Oh, it's all over.
No!
It's all over.
Danny!
Goodbye, V-Tetris. V-Tetris is a game for the Virtual Boy. Originally released in August 25th of 95, so around the time that the system was launching here in the States, Japan was getting V-Tetris. I think it launched in either June or July of that year in Japan, so they had a little bit of a head start. Now after that, in September of 95, was a game called Space Squash.
Oh, people wanted to see graphics mode B in V-Tetris. Sorry, folks, we gotta speed it along, unfortunately.
I might go back and get that real quick.
Yeah.
But first we have to cover a game from Coconuts Japan.
Oh, man.
Makers of many fine pachinko games for the Famicom. It says something about animals and patrol. I think we're going on Animal Patrol.
Oh, good. Get some animals.
I also see the word nightmare in there, so we're gonna have a good time.
Oh, they're cute. This game's all quiet.
Piteron versus Metabee.
This game's really quiet. Yeah, let me crank it here.
Oh, it's squash. Alright, so what you got here... Yeah, it looks like you don't even use the face buttons or the shoulder buttons. You just use both D-pads. The left D-pad moves you around, the right one lets you do a left and a right punch. An up punch, it looks like. Oh, you can't punch down. Only punch up. It's the rules of comedy.
To be fair, it's the rules that the Retro Pals try to go with.
Hey, we play by Space Squash rules over here. Oh, damn it.
That's why our comedy stands the test of time.
Well, this seems to be it. If you're expecting more from Space Squash, I'm sorry, but this is the whole thing. I guess there is a persistent 3D effect throughout, so that kind of justifies it being on Virtual Boy. But for my money, the best squash game is Cosmic Smash for Dreamcast. Still hasn't been beaten after all these years. Not even by the famous Coconuts Japan. Ah, damn. I'm talking shit, but the game's kicking my ass in reality.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about this one. Anyone have more to say about the famous Coconuts? They've made another one of our favorite games, Cyber War, for the original PlayStation, which is an adaptation of the Lawnmower Man.
Alright, we got one comment about Coconuts Japan. Coconuts Japan sounds like a fake swear. And you know, I can't say I disagree.
It kinda does. Do we need to go on here? I guess the way your shadow increases in size as you get towards the ground is pretty cool. It's like that for all the elements here. So they gave some thought to the 3D interaction. But on the other hand, this is very, very simple. And I lost! Even worse. No, I will not play again.
Alright, that's Space
There you go,
Squash.
Space Squash. Let's very quickly see that other mode in V-Tetris.
Yeah, I'll see that.
See if this makes the game look any better. We gotta have that automatic pause. Ooh, Game B.
Thank
Oh,
you for
look at that.
choosing this.
Alright,
mode.
so Mode A is a no-frills, no-background version, while this one adds a nice little cartoon image
Look
there.
at that dragon. Oh my god. Who, Yaddle, thank you. Thank you so much. You have blessed my life by
That's a good
choosing
dragon.
this. It's a great dragon. That dragon is me. I need to draw a ref sheet for my persona, and I'm just thinking about using that dragon.
Just use the
like,
Virtual Boy dragon. No one's
Yeah.
using it.
It's...
He's free. He's been looking for work for years. And now he's all like, oh, this asshole can't play Tetris at all.
Oh, he's really bad at this, but I can't
Come on,
let him
Clown
know.
Man, let's go. Alright, so... Next up. In October of '95, Japan was blessed with a fishing game, Virtual Fishing. No fishing over here in the States, only in Japan. From Pack-In Video,
Hooray!
we're seeing an all-star lineup here. We got your Coconuts, your Pack-In Video. What's next? Fucking Micronics.
Oh god.
Well, let's go Virtual Fishing. Ah, the beautiful virtual river.
Look at them fish.
Let's win the Rainbow Cup. This guy is gonna tell us the rules. You gotta get a fish at least that big. There we go. Kicking back on the lake. Beer. And a dog.
525 line says, imagine the migraines of Virtual Boy with a Micronix frame rate. And now I'm just
oh, dear
upset,
God.
yeah.
Well, I'm getting did I get a bite? I got a bite. Let's reel it in. Come on, you fishy fuck. What? Oh. The line broke or something else happened. The game wouldn't tell me. Okay, I see how this goes now. Let's, reel it in. Okay, up reels it in, it looks like.
Oh, hey, all y'all newcomers. You get to watch Danny play, fishing, huh? Fishing by packing video.
Come on, fish. Fish. Look, I got all this equipment. I bought the $1,000 Fisherman Starter Pack from Walmart. I'm wasting all my grubs on this. Hey, fish. Up yours.
Not a fan of the fish?
They're not biting.
Oh, yeah, chat's mentioning that the trees kind of right there form a face. And I see it now, and I really hate it. I can't say I enjoy it, like it, or appreciate it.
I don't see it yet, but I'm gonna hate it when I see it.
Oh, it's there. You'll... God.
It bit right when I was not expecting it to. Alright, this is our last cast.
All I can do now is see that tree face, and I hate it. I hate this awful tree man being like, got anything good today? You got some good fish? I love fish. Feed me them.
Look,
the fish.
All due respect, I came out here to be alone with the fish. Oh, here we go.
You can get it. Come on, Danny.
Okay, I can't pull it too much. Otherwise the line might break.
Yes! Yes!
I got it? Hey!
Hey!
It's a little too small, she says. Ain't the first time I heard that. Let's move on. Alright, so we're getting into expensive territory here.
Jesus. Okay, so what are these games?
Next up, Innsmouth no Yakata, or Innsmouth's Mansion. This is a game based on the Cthulhu mythos. The whole H.P. Lovecraft thing. This is that Innsmouth. And of course, it was only released in Japan for the Virtual Boy. One of the few Lovecraft games, you're gonna have to go to the Virtual Boy to play it.
I'm excited for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not the same IMAX as the theater chain. Or
yeah,
Ah!
I think this is just a Japanese
Nice
developer.
scare. A lot of jump scares here.
Ooh.
Are you playing?
No.
Okay, just
It's
see.
the opening demo.
Ah!
Oh my god. Oh, look at that alien fetus or whatever that is.
Oh my god.
This is pretty
You're right.
extreme. Virtual Boy gets adult. Alright, so, it's a dungeon crawler, only you also have control of a gun sight. One of the D-pads controls your turning and movement, and the other lets you control the sight here. Got him.
Danny,
And
this looks kind of good.
it's kind of cool. Yeah, fellow streamer, super great friend, played through this a long time ago. You should search through his YouTube archives if you want to see that. It's a game with actual multiple pathways and multiple endings, depending on how you play through it, so there's a ton of depth here. Can I reload? Okay. I remember a big problem is ammunition. If you're not careful, you can run out of ammo. Otherwise, pretty basic, but the action element gives it a little something that other dungeon crawlers don't have. Especially when monsters just get right in your face and you have to very quickly aim. Alright, there we go.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Wait, time over?
Oh.
Game over. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh my god, you only have a minute to finish the first level. Okay, we gotta haul ass. We gotta kill these nightmare creatures with speed.
Go, 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 move, move, move!
It's dead end.
Dummy Dirtpogs, the Virtual Boy was actually 32-bit if I recall.
It was, yeah.
It was considerably more powerful than the Game Boy and other portables at the time. But
oh yeah, for sure.
It's not really a portable, to be honest. You can't... If you were taking this with you, I mean, don't.
Don't try to use it on the train or something.
Oh, good God,
Please
no.
don't. Can we get out? Yes, we did it! Let's go, next floor. And yeah, look at this Darius shit right here. You can go towards 4 different endings depending on the choices you make through these levels. Still, what an odd release for the Virtual Boy. I can't think of a stranger premise plus, well, I was gonna say license, but I guess Lovecraft isn't really a license, is it?
Yeah, you're right. This isn't Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it just blends horror with dungeon crawling and basic arcade-style first-person shooting, I guess is what it is.
This is super, super interesting.
Just a really unlikely combination of gameplay elements, and I gotta admire it for that. Also the fact you have such a short time to beat each level, there's kind of a... You gotta rush, too. Okay, we did it.
Also, there is a map you can access somehow.
Oh, okay.
Not sure exactly how.
It's probably one of the buttons I haven't... There we go. Yeah, you hit select and you get a map.
Oh, very cool.
Still, oh my god, they give you so little time and so little ammunition. I guess that's kind of the appeal. It's a really challenging action-based dungeon crawler. And honestly, I can't think of anything else like this at the time. Or even now, really. So one of the best Virtual Boy games is based on the works of Lovecraft. And it's an action dungeon crawler. And I've died. Your password is cafe.
Is it at least like a haunted cafe? A spooky cafe?
A cafe.
A nightmare cafe?
It's the alien fetus cafe.
Oh, that's your cup of coffee! See?
Oh, yeah!
There's a little, you know, instead of...
You gotta look in your coffee to see what the future holds, and I don't know, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I know about this.
Alright, now we're getting into real expensive territory. These are the final 4 games released for the Virtual Boy in Japan. Released in very limited numbers. If you want them now, they're very expensive. Including Space Invaders. Space Invaders would like to remind you to take a break every 10 minutes.
Yeah, please do. Oh. Oh.
The one and only Virtual Boy game from Taito. Taito has never seen a system that was inappropriate for a Space Invaders port.
Hey,
Everyone
Taito likes
it.
money.
Yeah. So it's a collection, actually, of the first 2 Space Invaders arcade games. You can do it in 2D, but screw that. We're going with Virtual 3D. And Space Invaders Part 2.
Hell yeah, we're gonna catch the heart.
Catch the heart. Taito.
I think I saw chat saying they thought I said catch the hot dog, which I actually agree with.
And here it is.
It's Space Invaders.
Now, I've actually played this on a real Virtual Boy. I went to CGE 2002 or 3, and there I met a Virtual Boy developer who was maybe the only homebrew developer for Virtual Boy at the time. He brought a homemade flash cart with which you could flash any game, including this one. And I couldn't tell, obviously, but the people there who played it said that this 3D effect was actually really cool. It looks like the invaders are actually shooting down at you. By the way, that guy also made the world's only link cable for the Virtual Boy and the world's only two-player game that used the link cable for the Virtual Boy.
I think I saw that in chat about there being a homebrew two-player game that uses that homebrew cable. That's interesting.
If it's the one I played, it was like Snake. You were kind of drawing lines and competing with another player. So yeah, the odd situation where the Virtual Boy could support two players in theory, but Nintendo dropped support before it could actually make a cable. But the hardware was there where someone else could step in and make one. Pretty wild. By the way, I made that guy really sad when the first game I requested was Wario.
Aww.
Because it turns out that's the only 8 meg Virtual Boy game and it wouldn't work on his flash card.
Oh no.
So I went with this, and it was good. Not much else to say, is there?
I was gonna say, it's Space Invaders!
It's Space Invaders with this perspective, and supposedly the 3D effect is cool. If you want to spend $1,000 or so on a copy, that's your problem. Don't involve me in any of that. I'm not going to help you pay for it. But say that this is just child's play. Say that you're a real high roller. You really want to get into Virtual Boy collecting. Well, you're going to need a copy of Virtual Lab. Now, this game, so few copies of this exist. This is one of the $2,000 games. And I'm excited to see how it plays.
Oh, look at the guts!
Nakoti? J-Wing? What? Who are any of these people? Oh no.
Oh my god!
It's Gorby's pipeline.
But with intestines.
But with intestines.
Oh my god! Are you building her, or what's going on?
I don't know why the top part of her is vibrating. Is that supposed to be breast jiggle? Because I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, I don't.
To do jiggle, you have to render the breast.
It's like she's got like an electric chest, like, you know.
Like electric football, but with breasts.
I don't like it. Do you think it's in 3D? Oh, there she goes. I want to know who she is. Are these her guts? Are these her intestines?
Are we making an anime girl, putting her together with guts? Oh, it's time to take a rest. Wow, this does not look like a $2,000 game.
Yeah, please don't spend that money on... I mean, you can if you want to. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. This is your life. Live it as you wish, but...
That's the thing with the Virtual Boy, though. You get the sense that it's a real easy set to complete, because there's only 22 games released worldwide. But those last few Japanese games are a killer. You're not going to be able to afford those.
I don't like the intestines. I'm sorry.
This is a really odd choice for everything. Both in the puzzle pieces, the puzzle design itself. Just I don't know, man.
Yeah, chat's also saying it may just be her heart that's jiggling, and I actually do agree. Maybe we are fixing her heart palpitations.
Yeah, alright. That's fine then.
Oh my God,
I'm screwed now.
you are...
I am so screwed.
Ugh. Well, if you really like seeing large intestines, because that's what this looks like.
You want your puzzle games to be low-key horrifying.
Yeah, this game is pretty cursed.
Even the music and sound design is just really minimal.
Nah, it's not that good compared to all the other ones.
The theory I've seen is this game was unfinished and they just had to push it out the door.
It seems like it.
And yeah, that's the impression I get. Virtual Lab. No way I can recommend this game for any price, especially not what it goes for.
525 Lines calls this Cronenberg's pipeline.
See, if it had that Cronenberg license, then they would have succeeded. On the other hand, there's worse ways to spend $2,000.
Like what?
Like on an SD Gundam game.
No. Nope. We're not.
Come on, Alex. How many SD Gundam games there are? This has got to be the only one.
We've got, well, Danny. Maybe this is the first good one.
Okay.
That's not fair. I haven't played all of them. I don't know if all of them are bad.
Yeah, play every single one of them before you make a statement like that. Oh, of course Bandai had to get in on that Virtual Boy.
They like money.
They'll take any avenue for money, but this was not one of those avenues. There was no money to be found here. Good news, y'all. It's a strategy RPG.
Oh my god.
In 3D. Mm-hmm, that's right. It's a typical grid-based strategical combat game, but it's in stereoscopic 3D with Gundams. And it looks good. My turn's finished.
Ah, there was a version of Virtual Lab on the game. There's a... So, Taizo, is Chiki Chiki Tengoku a version of Virtual Lab, or is it just another game by Nakaboy?
Oh, look at this! It's got action-based combat. And it uses the 3D perspective. I see you getting these brief little skirmishes. Oh, it takes place across multiple perspectives. Look at this. Oh, look at that! You can zoom into the background and out. Okay, this is more than I gave it credit for at first. It's nice that they tried to incorporate depth in every aspect of gameplay, even the map, not just the combat. And I assume this is a Virtual Boy exclusive SD Gundam game. This isn't a port of anything, I don't think.
According to Taizo Hori, Nikodi's other game on the Game Boy is just as bad as Virtual Boy, and they had plenty of time to finish it, so they also just might be a bad dev.
Okay. That works too. That seems like another likely explanation. Well, that was kind of confusing. It used both D-pads to fire and move. But they are using the hardware. I can't say whether that's a good thing or not, but they tried. Stay tuned till next week when we play every single SD Gundam game released over the years.
I'm very excited because I don't know a thing about Gundam.
All your favorite Gundams. You got your hero Yui. You got your Zaku.
That's all I know. Is it Zaku?
That's it. No, we're done.
Okay. All right. That's it. Oh, there was a Gundam Dynasty Warriors game? Okay.
There were 3 of them. 3 of them for the Xbox 360.
Wait, for reals?
Yeah.
So there's... Damn. Were they fun? Because I really like Musou
Actually,
games.
yeah, I enjoyed them.
Musou games are great. That's my stance. I have no stance on this game, though, other than it doesn't look too fun.
And last of all, if you'll remember in the US, we finished up with Nestor's Funky Bowling. And so in Japan, they also finished up with a bowling game. Virtual Bowling. 1 baseball game, 1 golf game, 2 bowling games.
I like the music.
Athena.
I like the intro.
It's a neat intro, yeah. Athena is the creator of the Desaemon series, the shoot-'em-up maker. I don't know what else they did. They did some obscure arcade games. My name is...
Cool!
It's even worse when it's in huge letters like that. Give me those big balls. Two Unlimited?
Kind of. Like a funky, jazzy version of 2 Unlimited.
Y'all ready for this?
Like with a swing there.
Actually, hold up. Didn't Athena make Biometal for Super Nintendo? Because that game used 2 Unlimited tracks in the US version.
Oh, let me check real quick.
Did they just think they had the worldwide rights forever?
maybe. Yeah, Biometal is from Biothena.
Okay, so that's no coincidence. They just kind of lifted a couple of bars from Y'all
Yeah.
Ready for This.
Holy shit! Hey, man. They know what works for them. What works is 2 Unlimited.
I guess at this point they figured, no one's gonna buy this. Come on.
Now I just want a 2 Unlimited, like, jazz album.
2 Unlimited with a swing.
I'd listen to that.
And the weird thing is, you'll see, yeah, this is not a localized version of Nestor's Funky Bowling. This is a unique bowling game. Oh, look at that! Reverse angle. With the miles per hour and kilometers per hour.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know, Nestor's Funky Bowling was pretty good, but this is also real good.
Yaddle makes a point. There's no vor in this game.
And there's no vor, and they replaced it with 2 Unlimited. Alright, this is the superior game. How weird that these are both completely different, but also totally decent bowling games. And that's how they finished up the Virtual Boy in 2 different regions.
Thanks, Poop!
I like this one too. It's not as, it doesn't have as much character as Nestor does.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't have all those animations. On the other hand, the physics are good. I say on the other hand a lot. I'm noticing that.
Oh, you should
I say that when I try to be nice about something, instead of just saying, well, it's another fucking bowling game, what do you want?
I'm really into this swing version of 2 Unlimited, though.
Yeah. Tell them to do Twilight Zone. I want to hear that in a swing style.
Remember when like the big thing was like ukulele or acoustic versions of rap songs?
Oh
Maybe
my
we could
God.
go back. I know it was.
I'm
awful.
glad that stopped.
Maybe we could instead switch that to jazz or swing versions of like techno music from the 90s. Like, what if we heard Moby in a jazz style? Aphex Twin, but
What
it's
if?
jazz.
What if, Alex? What if? Oh, strike! Look at that.
Nice.
It's a pretty good animation for that
Yeah.
reverse angle too. That soundtrack is just hilarious. And here we come to the end of the Virtual Boy's lifespan. 22 games in total, 8 Japan exclusive, 14 released in the States. Overall, you know what? Not a bad library. I was expecting way worse from these games, and we're not actually done. We're going into overtime. We got 2 more
nice.
games. 2 more games to show off. These games were unreleased. These are a chance to see what might have been. This is Nico-chan Battle. This would have been the second Virtual Boy game from Bulletproof Software.
This is good. This music's good.
That's the other thing I've noticed. A lot of these games have real good music. The sound, whatever hardware they're using, it sounds like a PC Engine most of the time. And I like that. Once again, this was never released, just a prototype.
Yep.
Now see if you can guess what game this is.
Oh my god, really? I think I already know, and I am flabbergasted they did this.
What's your guess?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat's already guessed. It's
Faceball!
It's Faceball, yeah.
Winner of GamePro's 1991 Strategy Game of the Year award, it's Faceball 2000 for your Virtual Boy. And I gotta say
great!
this seems like a no-brainer, right? A first-person shooter for the Virtual Boy? Why didn't they release this? I really gotta wonder if they were so committed to this idea. So this was previously on Virtual Boy, Game Boy. This came out on Game Boy with link cable support, so you could play with up to 8 players. And I guess they were also making a Virtual Boy version, which just makes sense, considering the thing had limited 3D capabilities, and also potentially link cable support. So this could have, theoretically, been a 2-player game.
Yeah, this runs really well.
Yeah, look at that frame rate.
It looks good.
It's way better than what it looked like on Game Boy. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can strafe. But especially for an unreleased prototype, this is already looking pretty darn good. Am I missing something? I think you could shoot the walls to destroy them in the original. I'm not sure how far this game got, but to me at least, to my eyes, this looks fairly feature complete. Just gotta have a few more people in the maze with you. Oh, there we go. Gotta get that guy.
Get him! It's an assassin!
Got him.
You did it!
And it plays pretty well. I want to say this is an even better frame rate than on the Super Nintendo version, even. And just given the premise of the Virtual Boy, it's a visor you stick your face into, wouldn't it make sense to have more first-person games, you know? Just spitballing here, you know? That might be a good idea to make the best use of your system.
I can't get over how good this Faceball game looks.
Yeah, look at that. It's got these transparent walls.
Oh, that's so... Oh, pardon me,
Many
that's
different
so cool.
enemy types. Oh, what could have been? Now, I'm not saying this could have saved the Virtual Boy if it came out, but it would have been nice. Looks like you get power-ups. Got him.
Nice!
So far, gotta say, one of my favorite Virtual Boy games. This plays really well, and it's really fast. And it's a darn shame it never came out. But you want to know what the real shame is? Our final game.
Oh, I think I know this game.
It is a miracle that this game was discovered, and I'm so glad people tracked it down and dumped it.
Same, actually.
This is bound high.
Thank you to all preservationists for letting us play this.
Yep, Planet Virtual Boy, all you people who go into documenting and tracking down this stuff, thank you. Japan System Supply. That's cute.
That's so good!
The Chameleon Twist people, I think? Is that who Japan System Supply is? Well, anyway. Whoever they are, they made a damn good Virtual Boy game, and it was never released. Here's the adventure of Chalvo. There was a city. It had one tree. Oh no!
Uh-oh. Yep, according to Codeman38, Japan System Supply is the Chameleon Twist people.
Okay, yeah, I thought I saw that name before.
They also did Power Quest for the Game Boy.
Oh, okay. And this game is a real shame, because... Look at this!
Oh, this looks good!
Look at this amazing use of the 3D effect. Now, there's no telling whether this would have made people extremely ill. It might have. But this plays great, is the problem. It's super cool, the way they do the transparent effect to let you actually see through your character, see what you're bouncing on. And the gameplay is so simple, and yet I could see it being really immersive in that, that horrible red visor. And once again, like with the last game, gotta say, this is one of my favorite Virtual Boy games that I've played. It's great use of the hardware, controls are really good, pretty unique premise. And though it's simple, I feel like... I don't know what it is here that makes it feel more like it has more depth than something like, say, Jack Bros. But that's certainly the case. I guess that was the Virtual Boy's strength, just doing these really scaled-back games. Things like Mario Clash, shifting things back to single-screen platformers and all that. And this would have fit in pretty nicely with those, I think. Look at that, you can do those combo attacks.
I'm just into this music.
And the music's good, yeah. Again, only problem I can see would be sickness.
Yeah, I can see this getting a little nauseating.
If Nintendo was that concerned with people getting sick, a game that constantly zooms in and out, they probably wouldn't have liked. Really gotta wonder if it was Nintendo's decision that they said no. Because it looks like Japan System Supply had a full game here ready to ship. Oh, I can't do this anymore. We gotta see how it would have looked like, right?
Yes.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, now I see why it wasn't released. Now I see why.
Can't say I'm a big fan of this.
This isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it could get aggravating. Really, that's a summary of the Virtual Boy. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it can get aggravating.
Mm-hmm.
What we've seen here tonight are some fairly interesting game concepts. A lot of them, as I said, were scaled back from what you'd see at the time, but that's more of a necessity. Game design kind of changes when you force your players inside a helmet and make them stare at a screen for hours.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, get one more. You can do it. Get him.
Get off. There you go.
You did it.
I really like this, Alex. Okay, I can't do that anymore.
Okay, thank God. Thank you, thank you.
The other thing, just to sum things up here, if you want to play these games, emulators definitely the way to go. Not just because of the hardware's infamous ability to cause migraines or sickness, but because the original hardware is actually critically flawed. All Virtual Boys will eventually die. And by that I mean they have this specific hardware defect where over time, one or both of the lenses will become detached, and one screen will just display garbage. And after a while, the other screen will die too.
Oh, great!
It's because of the cheap glue they used. And in fact, the solution that you can do is, if one of your screens messes up, just take the main board out of your Virtual Boy, pop that in the oven for 350 for an hour, and you got it fixed up. The classic computer/Xbox 360 resurrection method.
Yeah, there's so many resurrection methods that just involve putting your equipment in the oven, which I still think...
The thing is, that's not a permanent solution for Virtual Boy. Eventually the glue will get loose again, and the process for a complete repair is very, very expensive and very specialized. To sum things up, not worth it. Definitely worth playing on an emulator, because for one thing, you get to see in black and white instead of eye-searing red. Mm-hmm. And for another, you won't have to deal with hardware defects, which, again, in every Virtual Boy unit, all of them will die. Even if the one you have is currently fine, it will die eventually. And that's a goddamn shame. I guess Nintendo just didn't have that much faith in the hardware to last more than a decade or so.
Makes sense, especially since they were really cutting costs on it.
That's true, yeah. So the Virtual Boy got good games, just a series of unfortunate circumstances doomed it from every possible perspective. For every good thing for this system, there's about 5 or 6 bad things. But if you look at the games themselves, you'll find some actually good playable stuff that's worth looking at for inspiration or just fun games to play that are unique and not like any other platform. And that's my defense of the Virtual Boy, and I'm sticking to it.
I actually agree. I think
it got a raw deal, right?
It did. It really did. It if it had been made a little bit later with a little bit better hardware, like, you know, color-wise or things like that, and just a few differences, I think this... Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I'm not playing a pirated copy.
We paid for this!
Oh, okay. It's a boss. Body. Head.
Rygon! No, there haven't been any Virtual Boy games released on the 3DS console, and,
That's the thing. You're not really gonna see that. Someone asked Reggie at Nintendo whether there'd be any Virtual Boy games on the Game Boy, or rather 3DS, and he said, "I'm completely unfamiliar with that platform, and our Virtual Console releases depend on me or other people championing games for release."
Oof.
And that's not going to happen.
I would like to
Oh,
see
no.
no! I would like to see a virtual
It's definitely
virtual
possible.
thing of Bound High, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stereoscopic effect. You could very easily do that on 3DS. It's just a matter of Nintendo giving a shit, which they don't. And honestly, yeah, I can't blame them. But what's most important is Bound High is preserved, and you can play it in a way that won't make you sick.
That's very, yeah.
And that's why current technology is good.
Mm-hmm.
We out-Nintendo'd Nintendo. Made their games playable. Oh no.
You can do it, Danny.
Alright, this
I
is
believe in you.
This is my last attempt.
Get that power demigog.
Got... Nope.
Almost. Oh. No, okay.
It's intense.
This is intense!
Got him!
Nice.
I feel bad for Bound High. It's got so much charm, and it's a unique concept. And then it just never came out.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I do not know if there are any Virtual Boy emulators with Oculus Rift or HTC Vive support, but as you mentioned earlier, a solution you can do is just get Mendefen for Android, and then, or not, sorry, RetroArch I think was it, and then
Use Google Cardboard.
Yeah, Google Cardboard, and that should be able to do it.
And PC emulators also support anaglyph glasses, so if you have those red-blue 3D glasses, those will also work.
I take it back. Nintendo 360 mentions that VBGen has an Oculus fork, so yeah, you could try that too.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. Thank you for and thank you for everyone who's been filling us in with the info in chat. Do appreciate
Yeah, appreciate it. But suffice to say, Virtual Boy, not a great experience on original hardware, obviously superior on emulator, and I'd actually recommend it that way. If you're interested in these games, it'll cost you like a couple of megabytes for the entire ROM set, and you can play them without the horrible, horrible side effects. And that's the way I recommend you experience them.